Hey folks, Fernand Florida here with 416homecondo.com with your relatively frequent Toronto real estate market updates. What we have here is just another follow-up, if you will, of the ongoing issues related to COVID. Seems to be a never-ending thing, in my humble opinion. But as it stands, it's having its way with the Toronto real estate market. And now, one of the latest developments that we've personally experienced with some of our clients are move-up buyers. Now, actually, here, let me just backtrack here. Let's keep in mind whenever we read anything in the mass media, the general masses, not the fake news. Sorry about that, but the in the media, some of the news that you will be reading, you have to keep an eye on the fact of whether or not it's federally related or regionally related or locally related. Now, real estate being what it is, it's going to be usually um, specific, and by that I mean it's people usually are concerned with what's happening in their general neighborhood. Meaning, if you want to list your house, you want to know what's going on in your neighborhood. You don't necessarily care about what's going on 10 miles, 50 miles away. It has some relevance, yes, I'll agree, or I'll acknowledge that point. But generally speaking, most people want to know what's going on in their specific neighborhood, and then and specifically because it attaches itself to or it marries itself to what you're going to end up listing at, what you're going to end up selling your or asking for your home. That being said, that's my 2 cents on that point. Let's get back to the point at hand that I'm trying to make. What we found recently, what we've been dealing with as of late, are with some folks that have condos in the downtown market, central core, what have you, central core, midtown, Yonge and Eglinton, Young, Mount Pleasant, Eglinton, et cetera, all the way up to, I would even say, or hazard that up to Young and Finch, Young and Shepherd. Those are some of the markets that we have been dealing with as of late. So that's the only reason why I speak to those points. But what we've been finding is that, and to quote another esteemed colleague, Mr. Scott Ingram, on one of his writings or one of his contributions to the media, was that these folks are being, excuse me, handcuffed, to coin his phrase. They're being tied down with respect to their ownership of a condo. It's harder, as most of us are probably well aware, to offload to sell your condo, mainly because of the fact that that's what things that are going on, and that's related to the COVID effects, if you will, trickle down effects. There's lack of immigration. There's lack of students hovering around. That'll be potential renters. Lack of investors, if you will, and I would say immigration. The employment is taking a bit of a bite, and same goes in hand with that are the government subsidies, or if you will, those benefits that are helping some folks out. So all these are snowball effects and having an effect, if you will, a cumulative effect on people and their buying habits, spending habits, and what have you. So that being said, the condo market is feeling a bit of a pinch. Some have said that the numbers are going to be end up trailing down or coming down to, say, the 2017 marker. Now, from my memory, 2017 was a bit of a gangbuster year in terms of, like, we had bidding wars. We pretty much just had to list it and sell it, and that was that. It was almost like the Wild West out there. No pun intended. No offense to our folks or to our fine friends out in Vancouver. But anyways, what I am trying to long-windedly speak to is the fact that those folks that own condos are having a hard go at selling those condos in order to come up with the down payment to upgrade themselves. Upgrade themselves, like I've spoken in the past in prior videos, meaning those folks that need to or want to or have a preference for buying larger properties in the burbs, the 905 and what have you, replete with big backyard, pool, office area, recreational area for the little ones, and what have you. So, because obviously we're all finding ourselves spending more time at home, and that being said, everything being shut down from gyms to libraries to other recreational venues, we're finding ourselves staying at home and having to, if you will, come up with unique ways of entertaining ourselves and satisfying those functions that would typically be served by the public domain. Okay, so let's see, just onto some facts, and bear with me as I read some of my notes here. It's been said that there's hand in hand, obviously, and I don't know if the economics is a strong suit with some folks, but with the matter of folks having a hard time selling their condos, and also the matter of these folks, if they are having a hard time, some of them are actually pulling back, meaning if they're not achieving their number, they're going to not sell and they're going to hold. You add to that recipe that apparently there's going to be a lot of other new bills coming onto the market, and I believe, pardon me while I get straighten out the old man glasses, 20 plus thousand new units are set for completion in the Toronto area in 2021. So you add to that the new units coming online, plus with the resales of some folks that have to sell, there's going to be people will be inundated in terms of like what's going to be available to them. So that being said, it's obviously going to have an effect on the price of the units. It's not going to serve some folks well because they have to hit a certain mark, they have to hit their number in order to pull out and get a larger home. So that will have a, if you will, detrimental effect. So that being said, one of the other comments that my esteemed colleagues have said, excuse me, talking quite a bit today, is that as these listings double, there's going to be a bit of a well, a downslide. Okay, the Moody's and if some of you folks are familiar with this organization, Moody's Analytics forecasts that the Canadian home prices are set to drop at about 7% in 2021. That's with both detached homes and also condos falling or feeling the effects of the aforementioned points that I already raised. Okay, bear in mind what I just said is specific to the Canadian home market. As I said earlier, the information being given or the information that you read, you have to remember whether or not it's federal, regional, or local. What I just said was federal. Okay, so now on there, further with Moody's points or Moody's Analytics points, they also stated that Toronto area prices are going to possibly slip to early 2017 levels, as I again said earlier too, and it's going to take some time to recover from that. They're citing, I believe, around mid 2023, so it's going to be a bit of a slug trying to get back onto comfortable ground, if you will. So condo inventories are going to pile up and or we're going to be inundated, and sellers who hold off, mind you. And here's a very good point that again, Mr. Ingram Scott raised that I have a tendency to, that I will agree to, is that I'll put it this way, or that he put it this way. What seems like taking a bit of a pinch or taking a bit of a bite right now, if you're planning on selling your condo, yeah, it's kind of, pardon the expression, sucks. But the prices that you're able to achieve now, despite your thoughts on the whole thing, may end up being a gold mine later on when even more inventory comes up. And the economic effect of that being that if there's more competition, it's going to drive down that price even more, just simply because of the fact that there's going to be so much more stuff available. Okay. Any questions or concerns, give me a shout. I know we're really, really long, one of the longest ones yet, but it's a lot of information that I think it'll serve all of us well, or serve most of the buyers well, and keep you informed. Hopefully you'll be able to listen through all this, but if you have any questions and you want to make it short, just give us a shout. We'll post our contact information, and hopefully look forward to having a chat and keeping you guys up to date. Hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. Stay safe, and keep an eye out and an ear out for the latest news on potentially any potential further restrictions or possible lockdowns. But stay safe, folks. Mask up and take care.